I turn 30 tomorrow, and so I'm trying to close out my 20s, just doing what I love, hanging out with my babies and enjoying the farm that me and my husband have built together. And I've also been doing a little bit of reflection as I sit here and get gnawed on. I'm finally being left alone. At first, this entire horde was needing my attention and climbing all over me, but now I'm just down to busy and be. So that's manageable. Anyway, I was sitting here thinking about my 20s, and I'm in no way going to act as if I am wise at 29, because I realize that that is still very young. But a lot has happened in my 20s. Like, I don't even feel like 20-year-old me and almost 30-year-old me are in the same lifetime. When I entered my 20s, I think I was at one of the lowest parts of my life. Like, when I turned 20, I was in a terrible relationship. I was struggling to come to terms with, I did not know what to do as a career. I was struggling in school due to my terrible relationships and mental health and eating disorders and just a really terrible time, honestly. I don't think I was a very good friend. I don't think that I was a very good daughter. I don't think that I was a good student. I honestly just don't look at that person at 20 and even equate that to being me. Like, it's weird to say that, but I don't even feel like the same human. I was also struggling to navigate the fact that I had rooted so much of my self-worth, my happiness into one sport. And that was kind of coming to an end because it's an expensive sport. It's not funded by the school. And I was 20 and kicked out of college, and mommy and daddy were not going to pay for me to show horses anymore. And my horse was old and I couldn't afford to buy a new one, and yada, yada, yada. So I'm having to figure out who I am, how to be happy, how to function without that thing. So that's where I was when I entered my 20s a decade ago. So fast forward 10 years, and the things that were so important to me at 20 that were toxic and that were kind of putting my whole well-being mentally and physically into a hole have been somewhat healed. And I feel very rooted in a purpose. I feel like I took the time away from what I had once relied on for my self-worth and for my value and happiness and all those things. And I feel like I had to step away from it and use this decade for ups and downs, for trials and tribulations, for learning experiences and growth to finally come back to it, which is why after a decade, I'm just now really getting back into showing horses. And I look back at the fact that I had no career prospects. I had no idea what skill I even wanted to attempt to hone in on for a career. And now a decade later, I'm very proud to say that I feel like I've found one of my purposes, at least. Hello, busy. Okay. I'm actually very proud of myself for the business that I've created that now provides employment to over 20 people. Honestly, 20-year-old Katie told herself that she wasn't smart enough to have a business. She wasn't smart enough to follow her dreams because they were expensive, and if daddy wasn't paying for them, then there was zero way in her brain that she could ever do that, and so she wrote it off. 20-year-old Katie didn't think she was worth anything if she weighed more than 150 pounds, which was very hard for me to attain. 20-year-old Katie didn't think she deserved a non-toxic relationship and settled for being treated in ways that were horrible. I feel like people put so much emphasis on like your 20s being the best time of your life, which I think there were parts of my 20s that were amazing and a great part of my life, but I feel like it's a decade of growth in ways that I don't think any other decade offers. Like, you are a completely different human from 20 to 30 in maturity, physically, mentally, emotionally. And honestly, I just want to say how excited I am for my 30s, for being able to reap the benefits of the growth in my 20s. At 30, I have a husband who is so loving and I truly believe is my soulmate. I have a company that has grown exponentially over the last few years that I have such big hopes and dreams for. I'm able to do what I love. I'm able to hone my craft and share the benefits with friends, family, and employees. And I do believe I'm entering a new phase of growth, and it's stressful and it's time consuming and a little bit frazzling at times, a lot of times. But looking back at the last 10 years, it just makes me excited for the next. Some goals I have at the moment for my 30s, I would love to become a mother, like a human mother in, I don't know when, but we'll see. That's a goal at least. I have goals within my business, within my breeding program, within my show career, and I just cannot wait to see how it all unfolds. And I know it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows, and it's going to go up and down, and hardships will happen, but I'm very grateful for the past 10 years. And, you know, I don't really even know what the point of this video was, but if you're still watching, I've had a heck of a time, and I'm really, really excited to be 30 tomorrow. So that's about it.